the beauty of our team is, different guys can step up any given night. Before these last two games, I think I was shooting like 6 shots a game. So I think, coaches just talked about just being aggressive, trying to get these wins, and that's what we're trying to do.
What did you make of Chris in the fourth quarter?
I told him it was vintage. Unfortunately, I've been on the other side of those moments more times than I care to remember. So it was nice to finally see that, and I thought it was just a great lift for our team.
You know what it's like to watch him hit daggers and orchestrate pick and rolls for dunks and stuff like that in big spots.
For sure. I mean, I think he's one of he's one of the greatest closers in this game that we have. Still playing, and moments like that when you get to see it, I think up close you just appreciate it. After 20 years, still being able to do that, it's impressive.
A lot of these over the last couple of years, as the younger guys have been growing, they've had a lot of games like this that they lose or they let slip away. What have you seen from the group of young guys over the last couple of games that you guys have been able to close out?
Really just our approach. I think, that was the biggest thing we talked about at halftime. It's, are we approaching this game with the same level of focus that, we've approached other games? Are we, as disciplined? Are we playing with as much force, as much, just desire to win? And so I think that, coming into that second half, just the stops that we were able to get. Obviously, Bassey was great tonight. Him and Zach just, controlling the paint. I thought defensively, the job that Julian was doing was incredible, and a bunch of guys stepping up, making big plays. But the second half was more of how we should have started the game.
Keldon had that dunk at the end of the game. It looked like you kind of pulled him aside on the court there and had talked to him. What was that about?
Man, Keldon does that dunk every day in practice. And I tell him, I was like, we're going to get called for a tech in a game one time. And he just always laughed. And then today was the day. Now, it didn't hurt us in that moment specifically, but it's just one of those things where you talk about certain things in practice, and you talk about certain things of how it could come back to bite you. And, we don't want to ever be in a situation where, let's say that's in the third quarter or earlier in the fourth, and that happens, they get momentum off that play, and, things change.
Harrison, has it been neat to, because when you joined a team that struggled last year, you hope, that things, turn out better than they did last year. Already, with the 8 wins, they didn't do that last year till January 20th. So to be a part of what's already a vast improvement, even though it's early, just, wondering if that's something that registers, even though you're in the day-to-day and the game-to-game, that's something that kind of you notice.
I think, since I got here from day one, regardless of the record last season, I think everyone had a desire to win and be better. And I think that when we look at this season, we look at the fact that we have 8 games and how many more wins should we have had if we would have played the right way. And that's not to discredit anything that other teams have done, but our approach has not been consistent in some of the games that we've lost. So I think for us, it's just a matter of just holding that standard. Every single night going out there saying, look, if a team beats us, it's going to be because they played extremely well and we tip our hats to them. But, shooting ourselves in the foot with our approach, with our turnovers, with our lack of execution, those are the things that we are going to clean up and we're going to mature this season and get past.
And that was Pop out, everyone's got to kind of help out in his absence. But with you and Chris, do you feel like you have taken a little bit more of a role to kind of help fill that void with Pop gone?
I mean, Pop there's nobody who can fill that void. I mean, I think what he brings, what he's brought, what he's established, I think everyone is, coaches, players, staff, everyone is doing their part to make sure that, we're making him proud every single night. So I think that the best way that we can honor him is to go out there and just compete as hard as we can and execute and win.
Harrison, I was talking to Stefan about the fact that, again, you and I talked about this earlier in the season. You went from being the man to all of a sudden like a role player, and you were telling me in Sacramento you were concentrating on better efficiency because you wanted to make the most of every shot you got. Now it seems like they're finding you quite a bit, and you're attacking the rim and finding ways to score. How does it feel to sort of be in this resurgence right now?
Well, I just think it's just a matter of staying ready. I think we talk about it all the time, and this season it's been a little disjointed. I mean, we haven't quite had our full roster all together. I mean, we've had guys injured and coming back from injury and getting re-injured and all that type of stuff. But I think like I said, for me, it's just a matter of just staying efficient, staying ready. You know, you get more usage, you know, maximize that. You get less usage, figure out ways to be more impactful. And like I said, right now, especially in these last 2 games, I think the biggest example on our team of somebody staying ready is Charles Bassey. So I think that speaks in and of itself as what we're trying to do as a team.
Is it kind of neat just seeing a guy seize an opportunity like this?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not easy playing behind Victor, right? I mean, it just is what it is, right? What he does offensively, what he does defensively, obviously how many minutes he gets. So, you know, for 11 games or however many games it was, you know, to be out of the rotation, not playing, and then to come in, you know, now to be able to have these type of games, to be able to give us this lift, finishing the game tonight. You know, those are big things. And obviously, you know, when we get fully healthy, things will change a little bit. But just that these moments now, I think having that confidence from your teammates and being able to step up in this moment, I mean, it's huge.
Thank you, Harrison.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.